At some point, we've all thought about getting a bespoke cabinet made, like this one. But three very important questions stop us, like, how much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? And what is it actually going to be made from? And to answer all three of those questions, I contacted a very well-known cabinet maker and sent him this drawing. Together, me and the cabinet maker have been planning this build for a long time. So tomorrow, I'm going to drive all the way to his workshop in Oxfordshire and we're going to build a bespoke Butler's pantry. I've just arrived at Derek Barrett's workshop. We are about to get into what will be an amazing cabinet build. It's a Butler's pantry and we have kind of come up with a design together, and if we don't work out the processes properly and we don't do the cuts right and we don't optimise for the board cutting, then we're going to end up wasting a lot of material. And that's why I'm here to learn today. I'm excited to see this one. So let's get into it and start cutting some boards.
Got the cut list done. You estimated a certain amount of boards, and I think I've saved you about 3 boards by using this program called Cut List Optimizer. We've got all our cuts that we need to do. I think there's only literally 15% waste of material by the time we're finished, so it's really maximised the amount of cuts.
What boards are we using?
We're going to use the Finza Nogel Valentina. It's the MDF core, so really good quality board, beautiful walnut melamine grain.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And what thickness is this?
This is an 18mm.
18mm thick.
Yeah, we're going to use 18mm for the backs as well, just to make it nice and strong.
Nice.
Key thing is the label as we go.
Easy to forget what part's what.
Yeah. Big thing. I get a lot of chippies and joiners coming in. Going, can I use your saw? And they just haven't got a clue how to use a table saw.
Yeah. Who has a saw like this? You know what I mean?
If I'm working on this side, that fence is always behind the blade.
Okay.
If I'm using that fence on that side, past the blade. On the fence,
it can pull.
It pulls. So.
Is this so?
Yeah.
Can I just say, I have never seen timber cut so smoothly. That was like butter.
Japanese blade. It's £170 plus VAT, that blade. They're the best blades.
Kabusa blades.
Yeah. If I put that blade in, the ringing sound that would come from that, you'd be like...
Expecting a cutting noise, but there was barely a cutting noise.
No,
it was just...
But chipboard,
cool.
There'd be bits, there'd be sparks.
Yeah.
There would literally be sparks
because
coming
they got metal in it.
Oh, so I just hate it.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool.
It's the unlock.
Yeah.
That pops out. If you wind that till you get... That's it. And then we just pull that down a little bit. That locks it. Get that out of the way. Because we're going to put this up to the front fence.
Okay.
You're going to trim, and then that's the cut you're going to get from it.
Okay. This table saw is a massively bespoke tool, and it did take me a while to get used to it, but eventually I did start to get the hang of it. To get the whole Butler's pantry completed in just one day, we needed to divide and conquer. So Derek decided to show me how to cut the miters on all of the beading which will sit inside the panelling on the door and drawer fascias. This bench guillotine is such a cool cabinet maker's tool. Once Derek had shown me how to do it once, it was my turn to give it a go. It can't be understated how precision all of the cuts need to be in a cabinet build, and although my cuts took a lot longer than Derek's, I was able to get a nice precision fit. Derek's trick whilst using the guillotine was to shave off almost exactly where you needed and then very slowly work down towards your marked line, and that way you can guarantee you're not going to take too much material. Just back from lunch, and we had a little bit of an issue because I had to nip out and get some more of the beading because I was supposed to pick up a few more runs, I think, and we were a bit short.
It's annoying when it's just that one length.
I know. I did the draw fascias first, and obviously they've got 2 long runs and then 2 short at the side. And I thought that I'd just have enough to do the big doors on the front that are going to have the glass in, but I just didn't.
We're not too far from the place anyway.
So quick 15-minute drive to Wickes, picked up some coffees, we just had those, had a chat about what's coming up next, and we've also got all of the panels cut.
Yep.
So the panels are here behind me, and this is essentially my kitchen right here, which
Yep.
it's a cool thing to look at.
It's crazy when you think that's good 8 sheets there cut up, but there's only a few of these panels here what we'll be using today. The rest you'll be taking up back home with you to put together. We've got shelves to be glued over there,
Okay.
and this trolley here is just needs to run through the edge bander.
Nice.
So
looking forward to seeing that edge bander in action.
yeah, we'll get
Definitely.
that going up.
It's literally like magic. After about 5 minutes of saying that we were going to do the edge banding, 2 minutes later it's done. Let's go look at it. All of the edge banding, all done in about 2 minutes, and it's really nice quality as well. Right. If this was, say we were working for a big kitchen brand, maybe it's Howdens or Wren or something like that, how different would this stack of materials look? What would we be looking at?
So they would be using more machines like beam saws. They use a lot of the big jumbo boards. The annoying thing about that is a lot of the time it's chipboard. So a lot of these bigger companies, they're cutting the costs down on the internals. The outside's identical. There's nothing wrong with the outside. You'll still get a good strong melamine face, but the difference I personally feel is the MDF core is a lot stronger. You can get an MDF core, a ply core would be so much more substantial for a kitchen. I use this quite a lot, the MDF. If it was chipboard and it gets edged, you would never tell the difference. Where you tell the difference is over time. The hinges, screws going into it, wear and tear, doors opening, drawers closing. It's such a used area in the house that I feel that you need substance. You need to be able to have a good bite.
Well, I remember when I first spoke to you about this material, I did actually say that I wanted to use something like an MDF, like a moisture-resistant MDF with no melamine face. And one of the first things you said to me, have you considered the melamine?
Yeah.
It was a worry for me as a DIYer because I know how difficult it can be to cut melamine. Not only is it hard wearing on your blades, but you can easily chip the edges. And then you explained to me that obviously a kitchen, and you know everyone who uses the kitchen will know, you're putting your plates in all the time, cutlery,
pots and pans,
and the pots and pans, and that can scrape a surface.
It'll damage the paint inside. If you went down the veneer, some people like solid veneer internals. I personally feel that if that gets lacquered, finished, and it cracks the lacquer, you're going to get these black lines in the boards. The oak's going to start staining. So, I don't think there's anything. This is probably the best by far.
And why would you need to go to the extra expense of a veneer just for it to maybe not perform as long? And then the next step up from that is like a solid cabinet out of a hardwood.
Still going to do the same thing.
Which is unbelievably more expensive. It is. It's way more expensive. And when you first get it, it'll look amazing when you're opening the door and
it's
looking in.
It's a show kitchen at the beginning, but it's not an everyday. Your wife's working, you're working in the kitchen.
Yeah. And who's opening the cupboards to look inside at all of the beautiful timber in there?
You can spend the money on solid dovetail drawer boxes or something like that. But again, it just depends where you want to spend the money on the fronts or that. But internals, I feel this is a really good, cost-effective way, but not a cheap way like some of the other companies do supply. Exact same process as a normal Craig, portable one, clamp one, all that. Except the bits coming up from underneath rather than you going down from the top. So you have to think the B side then needs to be put down on the bed. We've got two stops here. So you're going to push it in, turn it on, pull it down, pop it out, and then up to this one as well. A side up.
And then how do you know how far away from the edge to go?
So you see the things? They're stops.
Okay.
So you can go up like that.
Nice. And then we're good to go. Nice.
Same process on this end.
Yeah.
Big
What
one.
have we got here then?
This is a drawer box. We got
It's
our
a big drawer.
This is the big one. Good storage.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is
Might have enough room for Nicole's tea bags in there.
gone for with the sandpaper, just to take the burr. So when they meet each other, you got a nice kind of rolling edge. I do two together at the same time.
Yeah.
I love them drills. They're so
Nice, but they're small and light, aren't they?
so light,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
perfect.
I find that like a tool that might not seem heavy at first, it can actually weigh you down by the end of the day.
This is it. I like these one. Are they what is that one? Two, no, these are actually 2 amp,
Yeah.
which are great because I used to buy the 1.5s just on those drills. But if you put the big battery on that, the difference.
Yeah.
The difference now from we're using it on a daily.
Yeah.
You're doing the hinges, you're fitting kitchens.
We were talking about the DeWalt
the
stack ones.
power stack
and they're
one.
small, light.
Yes.
DeWalt have also brought out a new impact driver,
This
which is 48% quieter or something. It's a hydraulic one. It is absolutely.
I used to have impact drivers, but we barely have them anymore.
Yeah. Well, you don't need them with
Not
you.
in this.
Not in this type of fitting anyway. So what screws are we using?
These are the Hayfley, these are called pocket screws. We got A sides, B sides, and that. So I'm going to leave that there just so we have it as reference.
Yeah.
So now these are the sides, these are the fronts and backs. I use the longer head, so I line it up at the top, flush, have it a little bit over, and then.
So you're talking, how much is that hanging over?
I would say half a mil or so. You get a feel of how it pulls. You don't want to overspin them. So as it goes down.
Yeah. So now I saw what just happened there. That half a mil just disappeared.
It just goes into it. You can come. I would go straight now for the back one rather than the middle one. One side done. Now we're going on to this side. Do you want to try it? You get the feel when it's pulling itself and that.
I suppose this is a little bit easier when your drawers aren't absolutely huge.
Yeah. Yeah. All I've done with this is the base, is I've knocked the edge off, little skim, sandpaper, and hopefully my measurements are right.
Moment of truth. To be honest, that was never not going to fit. Was it? That was this stuff is it's better than millimeter precision. This is like
that's the Martin table saw for you. Solid
that
drawer
is
box.
One of the most, or maybe the most solid drawer box I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. That's amazing.
That'll take everything, like I said, pots and pans and stuff.
Nicole's tea bag collection.
Yeah. We use the Craigs that you've already done.
Yeah.
As points, guides for our screws for our drawer boxes. The point of the Craig, the edge, as my guide, so I'm not having to measure it, because I know there. It's like, that is going to be the pilot hole to attach our drawer fronts. There's the countersink on the inside for a nice little hole, but at least I know
that's a really cool time saving.
It saves time. So now that also tells me that's the front of my drawer, that's the back. So when it comes to getting the runners, we'll be stabbing the hole, the little blum hole that goes in there, and we'll be putting the clips on this here.
We've got one more of them big ones to make, right?
No, it's one big one and then it's two small ones because we got a secret push to open drawer inside the top one, don't we?
Let's take a break from building the cabinet for a second to update you on this. This is the Ultra Human Ring, which I mentioned in my last video that I was choosing the size for and looking at all the different specs. Having worn this for a week, it has definitely changed the way that I look at the way I live my life. Not just from what I eat, but what I drink and how I sleep too. I mentioned last time that I was going to go with the Aster Black. That's exactly what this colour is. Wearing the ring is actually pretty easy. It's not something that I consciously think about anymore. I just leave it on. Maybe every 3 or 4 days I charge it. It's given me some really cool insights on my sleep and how I can recover more. Doing this type of job, I'm always doing lots of physical activities and building things, which does require a lot of rest and recovery time. This definitely helps me track how I'm recovering in my sleep. This is definitely something that I want to carry on using and get to know even more over the coming weeks. If you're interested in getting one of these ultra human rings, check the link out in the description. It's very difficult to get the two pieces of material next to each other really tight and really close fit. So we're just going to take off like less than a mil just to make sure that all the edges are perfectly square. Oh, and then obviously once they're all square, we can then edge band it properly.
Yeah. That's it. This is the glue chamber. I've had an OAV now. This is my third OAV. I've upgraded every couple of years, but it's the same principle with the pellets in the glue pot. Edging comes through. You set the height to make sure it doesn't wander when the board comes through. This part here is pre-milling, so this takes the mil or two off depending on what you set it to. Ideally, you put whatever the edging is, it's 1 mil, you pre-mill 1 mil, and it adds it, so it doesn't change the width of the board.
Okay.
Goes along, you got scrapers. Well, this is a corner round. Then this one puts the shape, so the nice radius on the wood. And then as it goes through to the end, you got the buffers in there. At the end, you see the buffers. They buff up the boards as it comes out. From the front, we'll do our first hole. These stops are super handy.
So we're about to make the face frame for the Butler's pantry behind me, and this is the material we're going to be using. This is tulip, and it is a really nice looking wood. It's very close grained, as Derek has said, so that when it is painted it won't show any grain through, which is kind of like how MDF would look. And the fascias for the drawers are going to be made from MDF, so it's not like any of it's going to have any grain to show. So the next process is to be cutting this down to shape, and we've just spoken, and Derek thinks that we should do the top of the Butler's pantry first. So we're going to cut this down. I think this is about 25mm thick. It's already been thicknesser planed, so we've got it right from that dimension. We now need to cut it to the right size this way, so that we have the right thickness of frame, and then it'll be connecting the frame together and how we do that.
Domino. This is precise. This gives you a slight adjustment left and right, and this one gives you more of an adjustment. Lift it up and pull this clip back till you see the number 25. So that says 25 there. That's halfway point, so I know I'm going to hit the center of this. So I lock that off. Check the cutter. It's an 8mm cutter. So for the 8s I have 40s, 50s, and then you got 6s, 4s, 5s and 10s. So I'm going to go at 50mm, so I want to go in both ways at 25.
Currently about 3 a.m. and it's about -10 in this workshop.
Yeah.
No, in reality, what time is it? It's about 7:30.
Yeah.
And since this morning, we only had sheets,
Yeah.
just full sheets of MDF with the melamine face. We had no frames. We had no. We didn't even have the wood cut for the frames. In fact, one of them needed planer and thicknessing as well.
Yeah,
So
we had to do that.
the amount of work that's gone into this, but it's still been turned around in a day, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. One thing that's going to save me loads of time is we also cut all of the other melamine boards.
Yeah, you've got an extra 4 or 5 sheets cut for your kitchen.
So that's the carcassing for the island and the drawers, which are going to be on the long run right next to the Rangemaster cooker. So that is going to save me loads of time. This is looking unbelievable.
Yeah.
The doors have all been edged, and even the beading has been done, which I did earlier today. They even have hinges and open. The shelves, as you can see, are really nice and thick. 37, did you say?
36. Yeah,
36.
Two double 18s.
36 mil, nicely edge banded.
Options 2 inches up, 2 inches down with brass inserts.
That's right.
Brass pegs.
And there's also the grooves cut at the sides
For the LEDs.
for all the LEDs. So in a day, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We've also done the
It's 3 drawers. They're all there.
yeah, the drawer boxes aren't in,
Yeah.
but obviously it's super easy to do that. We don't have the hardware right now, but we can just screw them in as and when we're fitting it.
Yeah.
So really now all I've got to do is get it there, really.
Yeah.
And Derek's going to come to my house to help me fit it, because there's one thing making a cabinet, but there's also a lot that goes into fitting it too.
Yeah.
So you're going to help me do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to popping up, and if you want, like we said, we can throw a coat of primer on it, but we'll decide. But
And this is the one thing that we need to get right, because the painting makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It really does. And I know that I want to see what this looks like as a premium finish, and then in comparison, when I do my own cabinetry, do my own priming, my own painting, I want to just kind of compare the two. You know, obviously one's going to be better than the other, that's absolutely fine, but it's about demonstrating the difference between what a DIY finish can do and what, you know, the professional finish is. So all of this, so the framework, none of them are mine, but the framework and the drawer fascias and the doors are all going to be primed up, ready for when we install it.
absolutely.
And then I will then go over it, I think, with a roller and a paintbrush, and basically just spend some time just with a colour coat getting it all right. The only thing left to do is just get a cup of tea
Exactly.
and go home.
Get some dinner.
Yeah, so I've got a 2-hour drive, and the next time we start this video,
We'll be fit.
yeah, in fact, when I click my fingers, we'll both be in my kitchen. So we've just been unloading the van, and I've forced Eric to have a coffee. I'm tired this morning, need a coffee to get going. But once we've had the coffee, we're going to get into just, I mean, to be fair, we've already
leveled that one in.
We've leveled it in already, which is ace, because I saw your little tripod thing. It's, well, it's like a little plate that you can wind up and down.
Wind up and down, so much easier than shimming up your level up and down and that.
Which is definitely something I've done. I've also used those pole lasers as well to try and get
as well, but then it's in your way and stuff.
It is in your way. You can't always go.
The ceiling.
You can't go that low on them as well. So if you've got a really low place to level, then that would be perfect. We'll get it done, and we'll just. It's going to look amazing, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That is proper cool. Time to put the antique brass fascias on the back of the Butler's pantry. Whilst I was inside fitting the beautiful brass socket fascias, Derek was outside cutting some pre-primed MDF, which will be used to fill in the gaps around the face frame. This gives it a fully built-in look. So we're halfway through the day, and you can tell that because I'm drinking coffee and we've just had some dinner. Nicole has been nice enough to go out and get Derek and I a sandwich, but look behind me. That is the Butler's Pantry, and it's coming along really well. So now we're in a position where the Butler's Pantry is all level, face frames are in position, it's all scribed in place, and the LEDs are connected as well, which means this is getting close to completion. And I guess there's a lot of things to do with the drawers, so we need to put the drawer boxes on, the runners and the fascias. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but Derek has got a really great setup and a great process, which means, I mean, I'm sure he's got it all covered already. It's like it's all mapped out in his mind and he knows exactly how it all goes together. So we're going to crack on, and I think the next thing is we're going to get this cornice in place. Let's get to it.
2 sets of runners in here because we've got a hidden drawer at the top and then we've got a deep drawer at the bottom, so that's fine. It's just a thin strip just to raise it up that little bit off the base rather than putting it dead flush. So all these have been worked out. So this is my first packer, this will be my second packer, and this will be my third packer.
So these are like, you kind of like a jig.
Yeah.
You know, so you're getting the exact placement.
I've worked it out from the drawing to those measurements,
Amazing.
so it works really well.
Amazing.
The only thing I need to keep in mind is because the top one's a secret drawer, it's going to be set back further, the runner. So I've set my gauge to go 22 mil back past. So that's where I'm going to set this bit to.
Well, that's it. The Butler's Pantry's installed and it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, it's way better than I had in my mind. It's just...
But you've seen it in 2 different stages, in the raw form and then primed and that, so...
Exactly. We saw it first, obviously, as we were building it in the workshop, and it looks so different in a workshop to how it does in person here. It's made from 18mm Nogel Valentina Finza MDF, which is stunning in the way it looks, but also a really nice quality material. The front fascia is made from tulip, which has all been cut to size by Derek, and it fits absolutely perfectly. It's been primed, so it's all white, and we've got the reedy glass in here and the LED lights on the side.
So how much did it all cost, and how long did it actually take?
The exhaustive list of materials can be found in the PDF link in the description, but the overall cost excluding the worktop is £982. That's excluding labour, which took both of us 2 days. And of course, we still have some work remaining on this project. We've got to paint it and install the worktop. So if you're as surprised as I was about the total cost of all of the materials and you'd like to have a guess at what the labour cost was on this project, let me know in the comments. I'll definitely put Derek's handle on the screen so you can see it, and I'll link him below as well so that you can find him really easily. Derek does some amazing work that you can just watch on his channel anyway, even if you're not going to buy a new cabinet.
Get inspiration.
And you can get inspiration. But if you are, Derek does the most high quality work that you can imagine. So this is proof. The proof is in the pudding. The only thing left for me to do now, well, there's two things. One is to get the worktop, which I have yet to order, and paint the front, which it was only yesterday that I decided what paint.
Yeah, what colours you're going for and stuff like
exactly.
that.
So that's going to be a journey in itself, painting it, but I'm sure it's going to look amazing.
It's a lot easier now that it's primed for you.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
It's going to sit really well. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.